How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffledrowlit and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we got ourselves a brand new rumor from 4chan for Pokemon Sword and Shield's Isle of Armor. If you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like down below as per usual. Either way, let's get into the rumor itself. We're going to go through in the first half of the video the actual rumor. We're going to read through all the parts of it, and then after that, we're going to talk about it in depth. So let's get started with the actual post. So this was posted. The title of the post is Isle of Armor information, Mustard Man. So that's going to be interesting to see what he's going to mean about that. But here's what he points out first. So I don't have any good information on the Crown Tundra. So apparently this is only Isle of Armor info, as far as I can tell, based on an upside down Isle of Man. So Isle of Man is an area around the UK, so it is making a lot of sense that that's the case. Also, the Isle of Armor, you can see how they're making a reference to it right there. The island is split into sections like the wild area. There are 12 sections. The island is smaller than the wild area. I assume that the Crown Tundra will be larger. So apparently there are 12 sections. The island is smaller than the wild area. So that's going to be interesting. I'm wondering how that's going to work, right? Is it one singular main island and then small islands around it? Or is it just, just one island and it's just kind of split into different parts? I'm wondering how they're going to pull that off. But apparently it is smaller than the wild area. So that doesn't sound good because the original wild area itself is actually pretty small to begin with. It's pretty freaking small to start off with. So I'm kind of worried that that might affect things here, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, there are 4 fly spots: Mustard's Dojo, Rapid Strike Tower, Single Strike Tower, and Breezy Town. Now, Breezy Town sounds like something from JoJo's. I don't know. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I don't know why. But either way, so here's what he says. Breezy Town is the Japanese name for the town. Based on Douglas, it is comparable to Wedgehurst in size, okay, containing a station, clothes shop, saloon, Pokemon Center, and stadium. This is where you enter the island from. So that's some good information, I guess. Next up, there are exactly 99 dens, just like the original wild area. I assume there to be 99 in the Crown Tundra as well. So 99. So this is actually really useful information, if I'm going to be honest. But having the same amount of dens does seem to come across pretty well here. It makes a lot of sense to me. Then he points out that the Watt traders return in each section, but will also sell apricot balls. So that's fair enough. Along with the poison/psychic trainer, which are essentially the rivals in this DLC for you, you will also meet a bug trainer who is seen with Mustard. So I'm assuming that might be another sort of rival, but maybe the evil one, possibly. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what the deal is with him. But apparently he's a bug trainer that is alongside Mustard, who's our master. So along with the poison psychic trainer, then the normal and steel trainer will be seen in main Galar. So I assume the ground, electric, and flying trainer will be seen in the Crown Tundra. I may post if I hear anything about Crown Tundra once more is leaked. So there's really not much else he mentions here. That's pretty much it. Now let's break down each part of this rumor one step at a time. However, before we get into the breakdown of that rumor, there's another rumor here I want to go through as well, so we can get 2 rumors into one video instead of splitting into separate ones. So what's the next rumor? Well, Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC information by Anonymous, also posted on 4chan with a included image of Eternatus, essentially. So what's here? Well, he says, "What's good, everybody? I have some new info regarding the Pokemon on the DLCs. All starters will be coming back. Apart from Johto and Sinnoh starters, you might encounter them in dens only. There are 2 to 3 specific dens for them." Fair enough. He says here that Ekans, Absol, Baneri, Blitzel will all be available on the Isle of Armor. Weedle, Pidgey, Dratini, Houndour, Carvanha, among others, will be back on the second DLC, Crown Tundra. Now, the following Pokemon will get new Galarian forms in one of the 2 DLCs. Arbok, Poison Psychic. I really wonder what that's going to look like. Shinx line is going to get Ice Poison. Jinx and its evolutions, pre-evolutions I guess. Fire Fairy, which that's going to be interesting. Zubat line is going to get Dark typing, which makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Slowbro, Psychic Poison. Slowking, Psychic Ghost, Fanfi line plus evolution, Ground Fairy, Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Poison Fighting, and Ground Steel. There is new Bug/Dragon type that will be revealed in a trailer on April 7th, and Arbok and Slowbro will also be revealed, which is fair enough. On April 29th, they will reveal the release date and confirm more Pokemon that will be back. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense to reveal the release date around April because the first DLC is meant to come out around June, July, etc. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, they also say here, there's also new wolf-like Pokemon set to appear. It'll be a big fan favorite. So another wolf, fair enough. I saw a new form for Toxtricity, which can be evolved to during a certain day of the week at a specific time, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Alright, that's gonna be interesting. I believe it's called Immune form. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense for another Toxtricity form, as it is one of the most popular Pokemon ever. It has a red and purple color pattern, and has the same Gigantamax form as the other two. As for Gigantamax forms, here are some of the new ones. Raichu looks kind of like a yellow devil. Mewtwo, I was like Mewtwo, jeez. What's that? Mewtwo, I guess. He says, tail is pretty long. Flygon, eyes grow bigger, gets more wings. Tyranitar, Godzilla-like. Zoroark gets more muscular. Lycanroc, mixture of its 3 forms. And Dragapult gets more cannons, which I wonder how that's going to look like as well. Now, the storyline in the Crown Tundra will be about the legends in the Pokemon world. Eternatus will have a big impact on the story. That's all for now. I might respond to your questions later on. Bye. And yeah, that's basically what he had to say. I'm really wondering, like, how this is going to look like and how this, is going to work like if it is true. However, we can go through and break down each aspect of these 2 rumors actually one by one. So let's start with the first rumor we covered. So the first rumor is slightly lower in the amount of information and actually seems more realistic because it just breaks down how certain areas would work like within the Isle of Armor. Like, for example, explaining how many like actual sections there are to the island itself, which is logical. Then also giving names to the different parts of it. For example, they mention here Mustard's Dojo, Rapid Strike Tower, Single Strike Tower, and Breezy Town. That's different things right there. So what could the towers be? Well, they could be places you go to, for example, like a normal battle tower or something, or maybe it's going to be something different, more similar in design to maybe perhaps, let's say an example here, maybe something like, I don't know, the Battle Frontier, maybe? Who knows? But that's kind of what I would imagine from it, if possible. Then he also mentions here what some of the towns are based on, the fact that it's Japanese names. He also mentions the dens, which is interesting that he picks out, like, it actually mentions specifically how many they're going to be, which would be the same amount that we have in the normal wild area. As for the size of this DLC, it seems pretty small, according to what he's saying. I'm hoping that that will be kind of rectified, though, within the second part of the DLC, or the second, DLC, so to say, which is the Crown Tundra, which hopefully is going to be larger in scale. But I'm really interested to see how it's going to work, though. Then he also points out that they're going to be selling apricorn balls with, from the Watt traders. That's good to know, good information in general. And then, of course, he also points out that there are some new trainers, I guess, like a normal and steel trainer that can be seen in main Galar. So they're going to, I don't know, they're going to show up here again, and the other one's going to show up in Crown Tundra. Now, I'm not sure how those are going to work like, or what the deal is with those. I have no clue, but we'll have to wait and see. As for the city, though, the Breezy Town being the size of Wedgehurst and containing a station, as well as a clothes shop, salon, and Pokemon Center, as well as a stadium, I'm wondering what that stadium's going to be like. What's in the stadium? Who's going to fight there? What's the deal with it? I'm really curious to see how that's going to look like, but it's going to be interesting to see. So that was the first rumor, though. What about the second one? Well, the second one is slightly different. He mentions a lot of things. For example, Johto and Sinnoh starters, like, will they be coming back? Will they not? Etc. He also mentions about a bunch of Pokemon that are going to be returning, like Ekans, Absol, Baneri, Blitzel, who will be returning in Isle of Armor, as well as Weedle, Pidgey, Dratini, Houndour, Carvanha, among others, in the second DLC, Crown Tundra. He also points out some new Galarian forms, which, of course, I'm always excited for because they're pretty cool. As for the ones he mentions, though, we already know about 2 of them, which is Slowbro and Slowking. As for the rest of them, though, the Nidoqueen as well as Nidoking one actually is a little bit unrealistic in my opinion. I think Ground Steel for Nidoking just seems a little bit random, but I mean, hey, it would be really cool in my opinion if they did do that, though. As for when the trailers are going to drop, though, those are actually logical dates. Now, as I mentioned before, and just earlier in the video, they need to give us information soon, as the first DLC is about to drop very soon. Like, they're going to actually be posting it sooner or later. Like, it's gonna be out there for us to play within, like, the next 2-3 months, right? We got April, May, and then June is already there, right? And they gotta give us something then, for us actually to play, because we already pre-ordered, the DLCs, etc. So it's gonna be coming out in June. But the thing, though, is we don't know exactly when. And that's the same thing we had with Pokemon Home. We never really knew when Home was gonna drop, and then out of nowhere, it just kind of dropped, know? So I think it's way better for them to hype people up, get more sales off, you know, more people to buy the DLC by actually announcing it, you know, the release date for it, the first one at least, announcing that during April, and also getting people excited by showing us what more is in the DLC. Because right now, we know almost nothing. We know there's a DLC, but we don't know the scale of it. And at the moment, it doesn't feel like it's that large, just based on how big Sword and Shield were in their base game, right? So I'm hoping this DLC is going to be larger than what we've seen so far, but that's going to be basically a waiting game until we see what it actually is like. So that's basically the biggest problem. As for the dates though, April 7th as well as April 29th, they make a lot of sense in my opinion. Seems logical, doesn't seem too far-fetched, and I can definitely see that being the possibility for when we can see them happen. But other than that though, there's really not much else to mention. I mean, the Giganta Max Forms make a lot of sense. I think they're including two very popular Pokemon, for example, like Dragapult, as well as, I think they mentioned there was going to be one for, I think, Toxtricity. I might be wrong. I think, actually no, there's going to be a new form for Toxtricity, but I think in my honest opinion, that makes a lot of sense. It's a very popular Pokemon, and Dragapult is a very popular one as well, so it makes sense to give them some new forms, as well as for Flygon, Tyranitar, Zoroark, and Lycanroc, very popular as well. Though there seems to be a lot of wolves in here in this post, too many mentions of wolves and stuff, just seems a little bit odd. Like Lycanroc, you know, like freaking Zoroark, not really a wolf, but more like a, you know, werewolf, so to say. There's a lot of that stuff going on, so I'm really curious as to what the point of that is, but either way, that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, thank you so much. You know, drop a like if you do want to see more, and of course, comment down below, which of the two rumors do you think is more realistic, the first rumor or the second rumor? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.